Insufficient rain, so not enough rain, can cause crops to falter and agricultural prices to rise. All right, that makes sense. Records indicate that during a certain nation's recent crisis, faltering crops and rising agricultural prices prompted the government to take over food distribution in an effort to prevent starvation. Okay, records indicate that during a certain nation's recent crisis, why can't they just say during nation A, records show that during the United States' crisis, faltering crops and rising ag prices encouraged the government to take over the food distribution in an effort to prevent the starvation of the people. Thus, the weather must have played an important role in bringing about the crisis. What is our conclusion?
The weather must have played an important role in bringing about the crisis.
Awesome. And what is our reasoning for that?
So the insufficient rain.
Yep, so not having enough rain can cause crops to falter, and it can cause ag prices to rise.
Mm-hmm.
So if we do not have enough rain, so not enough rain, this can potentially lead to no crops and prices going up. And then we have this records that show us that during this certain crisis, so during the United States' crisis, we had the rising prices, and we had faltering crops, so not enough crops. So then we conclude that the weather must have did this. What is the problem here?
The problem for me, what I thought was that we don't know if the rain is what caused the crops to falter or for the prices to go up, or I also thought maybe there's other reasons when the government would take over.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just because a lack of rain or weather can cause these problems doesn't mean that it's the only thing that can cause these problems. It's the same kind of flaw as 2 questions ago. Like, we can't say that this for sure is what happened. Just because this could cause it, maybe this happened because one of our trade deals with Canada collapsed. We're no longer in the TPP. Gotcha. Therefore, we no longer have crops because we aren't getting enough of something. Maybe we're not getting enough oil to grow them, and our prices are going up because we're not trading or something. I don't know. Bad example, but so that's what we're looking for. So what answer choices did you both have?
So I was kept looking back and forth at D and E.
Okay, and what did you, Kamani?
I was between C and E. So
I hope it's E. Okay, so let's look over. I'll go through these quickly. So concludes merely from the fact that the period of insufficient rain occurred before the nation's crisis. The insufficient rain caused the crisis. We never say that it actually rained, though.
Right.
But we never say that there was a period of insufficient rain. B fails to take into account the possibility that the scarcity was not severe enough to no, we're not trying to justify the government taking it over. We don't care about that. This is like where we have to stay between the lines. People would pick this and be like, well, the government shouldn't have done it. Well, you're bringing in your personal opinion. We're not talking about the government. We're talking about the weather caused the problem. That's all we care about, is the weather causing the problem.
And I also thought that they never like gave us any information about what is severe enough or does it have to be severe? Like they never talked
Right.
about that part.
Right, because it doesn't like it doesn't the issue here is not the government taking it over. Like, okay, that's just what
Yep.
happened. The government took it over. We're saying what caused the issue in the first place.
Hmm.
C uses the word term crisis equivocally in the reasoning, referring to both a political crisis and an economic crisis. Okay, so crisis, whenever you use is this, it's I think it's called like an equivocality. I don't even know what the word is, like flaw, and it's whenever you have one word, but you use the word and it has two different definitions.
Mhm.
There's one example on a test. I can't think of it at the moment, but it uses like chaos, like the word chaos in two different terms, or like in anarchy or something. And they call like an anarchy chaos, and then they call like a lack of something, and they are using two words to mean two different things within the same same statement. So
Okay.
here, a crisis just means problem,
And then
and where's the other one?
The last word, literally the last word.
Crisis
Yeah.
is referring to a like it, and both the crisis has the same definition in both of those. Like they both are just like just a problem.
okay.
All right. D infers merely from the fact that one event could have caused a second event that the first. Oh, I love D. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me keep reading. But so what does infer mean on the LSAT?
Assume.
Infer means assume?
No, you just
I don't know.
conclusion.
Conclude. Infer means conclude. This is important. This is especially important for reading comp.
Yeah.
It concludes merely, so only from the fact that one event could have caused a second event, that the first event did cause the second. I love this answer choice because that's kind of what we're saying. We're saying just because rain could have caused these two things, we're saying it for sure did.
Yeah.
I like it, but let me read E. Watch me be like, oh, I like E too.
No,
right.
I see why E is wrong. Okay.
Right. Takes for granted, so assumes that any condition that is necessary for an increase in ag prices is also sufficient. I don't even like it's also sufficient for it. No, we don't do that. I don't even know what that would be.
No.
So it's for sure D. But did you like this one because it threw in those words and you kind of knew it was one of those flaws and you're like, wait.
Yeah, kind of. But like now when I looked at it again, I can see like, no, that's not what I'm looking for.